welcome to another Adventures in Bing Chat video. So something I touched upon in previous videos is to do with what happens in a prompt when you are artfully vague. And as I was using Bing the other evening, just in some semi-random way, just looking up something that I'd been thinking about that day, like a project I was working on, it suddenly dawned on me that something I should try is allowing the auto-generate in the prompt box to actually just come up with its own prompt and see what it actually auto-generates. So I've got to start with something for that to happen. So let's start off with the start of the alphabet, and we'll try a few of these. So I'll do A and then B and then C, and just keep it up for a little while, just so you can see what I'm talking about, and then you can go and try it yourself. And another interesting thing to try is see if it changes on different days. Like if I put in an A on Monday and follow the auto generation as it auto generates, because it will start auto generating other things until it stops. So until it stops predicting the next word. So what I'm going to do here is I'll put in A, so I'm going to tab and then tab again. So really I'm just pressing tab each time until it runs out of auto generating the next word. And that was all for just putting A in. I don't know if anybody's tried this in a video. I'm sure people must have tried it themselves. I can't be the only one. So that's where it stops. So that's going to be my prompt. So let's see what rabbit hole that takes us down. What I am going to do is each time I'm going to refresh this by doing new topic. So it's interesting because it's not sure what I'm asking, but I'm assuming as part of its tokenizing and the way it splits stuff up, it is just pulling sections out that make sense. So I've said, are you sure about the answer key PDF files from? Answer key PDF files. So yeah, it's trying to answer it based on that. So it says, hello, this is Bing. I'm not sure what you're asking me. Neither am I. Do you want to find some answer key PDF files online? If so, I have performed a web search for you and found some relevant results. So it seems to be just going into this, I'm going to do a web search. But it is interesting to see what here, it's like pulling out, trying to make sense of this. Answer key PDF files. So it's basically ignoring from and that and about and sure and you and are. And of course you could allow it to take you down different rabbit holes. So let's try with B. Interesting way of learning new stuff. So Bing, tab, AI, image. Interesting in also like what it predicts as being the next word. So images generator. And again, with the whole thing with attention and how it works its magic. It's interesting I suppose you can only speculate, like how big a chunk of text overall that's predicting on. I mean, obviously it's only predicting on, or basing its prediction on what you've put in so far, but then those predictions are based on, I'm assuming that the auto-generate here is using similar technology, similar generative model as a starting point. So what did it use? Is it using the same generative model from GPT-4 or whatever being checked is currently running. It could be running some. I mean, the assumption is that it's GPT-4, but again, with these other parts to the overall system, wasn't it called like Microsoft Orchestrator? I think the thing running in the background here that glues everything together. So we'll keep going, and usually at some point it stops generating predictions for the next word. There we go. So Bing AI image generator linked to eBay listing of US newspapers 2018 and 2019 before the pandemic hit in March if Ukraine joined the cast of a 1988 movie. Bald Drummond follows the Drummond Bulls, a success or failure. So it's splitting it up. I am not sure what you're asking for, but I'll try and help you. If you want to generate an image based on your query, okay, you can use Bing Image Generator. Just type #generation_image followed by your query in curly brackets like this. So that's interesting. We've actually learned something about like a hack, if you like, or a way to say, yep, I want you to run image generator. I mean, we've seen it work that out from just saying, please create art or an image or whatever. Okay, so if you want to search for information on US newspapers from 2018 to 2019, Bull Durham, yeah. So yeah, it's pulled out certain parts from there. And then it's suggesting some other stuff. So let's try C. Can you draw pictures now with AI and machine learning models? Work in the World Cup 2022 and 2023 models with different words or phrases that. Okay. See what it does this time. Yeah, again, doesn't understand. Could you rephrase it? Okay. So it's failed on that one. I'm not going to push it. I'm just seeing which ones it does attempt and which one it doesn't. There's obviously too many things in there, but it is giving me some options here. So yeah, that's how it's dealing with that. So it must be like a tipping point, I suppose. So A, B, C, D. Okay. Oh, I need to wipe this. I mean, it probably is doing the same. But, do you have a name or a nickname for him to the North Carolina State University, known for their own language learning apps? That. Okay. Yeah, so now it's getting a little bit too strange in that, you see, notice that's interesting because, and again, this is doing this sort of stuff, you start to learn a little bit about what's going on here, and not to the same degree that you would if you were, say, reverse engineering stuff, because it is difficult to see under the bonnet. But notice it didn't attempt to do a Google search. So, and this makes perfect sense. I'm assuming it's doing some pre-processing of the prompts before it gets to that Google search. And that's clear because you've seen when it does a Google search, or I call it a Google search, sorry. When it does its search, that then it uses to inform the actual response, or to do, another pass through the large language model, again, whatever it's doing under the bonnet. That step isn't of creating a query based on your question to do, and then use that query to enhance, that's the word I'm looking for, enhance the response from the large language model that it's going to get. It's just not doing that. Now, I'm going to go back there. I'm just going to loop back and just make sure it's not monitoring the fact that even though I'm clearing it. So let's just see if I do this for the A again. Are you sure about that answer key PDF files from, there we go. So maybe it's obviously with the shorter ones, yeah. So that one again, no problem. So yeah, the longer it gets, there's more for it to break down. And I suppose at some point it just decides to give up and say, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not going to do the lookup anyway and search for 4 different potential questions in the same prompt if it has no clue as to exactly what I mean. So yeah, give me more information, but this is enough. And then if I try, so it failed on D was one that it failed on. Do you have, yeah, it's nothing really it can grab onto as well. I mean, I suppose part of it is asking itself, do you have a nickname or a name? Something about North Carolina State University, and then something about language learning. So I suppose you could say there are 3 things there, but they're so disparate. Yeah. Different question. But it's actually doing a pretty good job there of breaking it down. Language learning apps, North State University, a name or nickname. Anyway, I'm going to stop there, but I just thought that was an interesting thing to play around with in terms of getting Bing Chat itself to create, it's not even artfully vague, but it's creating it from its predictive text generation in there. And again, you've just literally got to put 1 character in. And I'm sure you can go through the whole alphabet and see where that may not be the case. I'm assuming everything gets, there must be something for each word that it's going to suggest as the next word. Thanks once again for watching. Bye for now, and I will catch you in the next episode.